In a deep, magical forest, between trees with golden leaves, there lived a brave 8-year-old boy. His name was Max. Max was a child full of dreams about adventures, but he had a little problem. He was a little afraid of the dark. Especially at night, the deep forest looked even more scary. But Max's imagination always helped him push away his fears. He wanted to follow the steps of the brave heroes he imagined while running by the river or walking along the mysterious paths of the forest. One day, an old, wise owl living in the forest made an important announcement to everyone. The forest's most precious light flower is lost. Without it, the forest cannot shine at night, said the owl. His voice echoed through the forest. The light flower was the brightest and rarest flower in the forest. At night, it would glow with the light of the stars and brighten up the whole forest. If the flower was lost, the forest would be dark and scary at night. The owl said that they had searched all over the forest, but could not find it. The creatures of the forest were very sad, and they needed a solution. Max felt excited inside. That night, the forest would be dark, and everyone was worried about the lost light flower. Max decided, I will find this flower, he thought. If I don't find it, the forest will never shine again. He felt courage in his heart. He decided to go on the journey, but it would not be easy. First, he decided to climb a hill where the wind was blowing, and trees sang songs cheerfully. As he climbed to the top, the wind hit Max's face, like it was giving him courage. He looked up at the sky, and the stars seemed to wink at him. It was like the stars were saying, just keep going. When Max reached the top, he saw a beautiful blue lake. The sky was reflected on the lake, and the water was so clear that he could see the fish swimming. Max decided to rest for a while. He needed to relax and gather strength for the journey ahead. Sitting on the stones by the lake, Max felt the cool air, which made him feel a little better. But after a while, he decided to continue his way. Now, he had to go to the river. The river passed through trees with emerald green leaves. There was an old bridge made of stones over the river. The bridge was quite old, and the wood creaked, shaking a little. Max took a deep breath. I must cross it, he thought. But then he thought, what if I get stuck? However, he decided to fight his fears. He stepped carefully onto the bridge, and with each step, he became a little more comfortable. Finally, he crossed the bridge safely. When he reached the other side of the river, he noticed that the water was glowing softly. The waves hitting the shore made a melodic sound. He walked for a while, going deeper into the forest. This part of the forest was the most mysterious and the darkest. There were huge mushrooms, glowing butterflies, and trees that sang sweet melodies. Max couldn't stop looking at this magical world. The giant mushrooms reached up to the sky. Little glowing bugs were dancing on them. Everything was so colorful that Max felt like he was in another world. One of the trees shook its big leaf, and golden flower dust fell down. Max admired this magical sight. But soon, he saw the entrance to a cave. A soft light was coming from inside. As Max got closer to the cave, he carefully looked at the light coming from it. The light felt like something had been lost by accident, but it was about to be found again. But the entrance of the cave was very narrow. I must go in, but what if I get stuck? He thought, but he decided to move forward. He courageously stepped inside. As he went deeper into the cave, he noticed old paintings on the walls. This was a place where many adventurers had passed. He stepped carefully and noticed that the stones under his feet made a soft cracking sound. In the depths of the cave, he saw a glowing light between the rocks. There was the light flower. But a wind fairy had accidentally dropped it in the cave and couldn't get it out. Max carefully picked up the flower. Just then, the fairy flew up to the cave ceiling, glowing brightly. Max walked out of the cave, holding the flower in his hand. The journey was still tough, but Max felt more confident. He returned to the riverbank, crossed the bridge again, and walked through the glowing trees. Along the way, fireflies joined him, lighting up his path. He thanked the glowing bugs and continued on his way. After a while, he reached a clearing. There was a magical atmosphere in the forest. Flowers were softly glowing, and the wind made a melodic sound. Max was now happier, knowing that he would bring light back to the dark forest. Even in the darkest times, he could shine with courage. That night, everyone in the forest was waiting for him. Max placed the light flower gently on the soft ground. Suddenly, the flower glowed with a magical light, lighting up the entire forest. Now, even the night was not dark. Every corner of the forest shone like the stars. The birds sang happily, butterflies danced around the light, and the river sparkled brightly. The animals of the forest danced happily around Max. The owl said, "Max, you brought us light with your courage." The turtle swam happily in the lake, the rabbits jumped around joyfully, and even the big trees waved their branches to congratulate Max. There was a celebration all around the forest. Max felt happy because his fears hadn't stopped him. Now he knew that courage was about moving forward, even when you're scared. He understood that, if he was brave, he could overcome anything. That night, Max lay under the stars, thinking about this wonderful day, and he felt very proud. Courage was the greatest power that could light up every dark moment. And so, the light flower continued to shine every night. Max's story became a fairy tale told in the forest for many years. Everyone learned to live by remembering his courage and determination. The forest once again glowed with safety. Because courage was the strongest light that could brighten any dark time.